35 kids from the Cedar Valley and across the nation came out to the Hartman Reserve Nature Center for the second annual Hunger Games camp, a week beginning with training in multiple survivalist areas and ending on a huge game of capture the flag, and had kids highly entertained and enriched in a learning experience. The Hunger Games is a book series by Suzanne Collins. It is set in a dystopian world in the future that has America divided into 12 districts, and every year the ruling power, known as the Capitol, has 2 kids from each district compete in the yearly Hunger Games, where they must kill each other and only one is allowed to win and survive. Those who have not read the popular books may have seen the movie starring Jennifer Lawrence. The Hartman Reserve took in just how popular the books were with kids and decided to make it into one of their literature-based camps.
We try and do a book-based camp every year to promote literacy and promote kids getting outside. This book, when I heard about the book, I knew it was going to be and especially the popularity. I read it, and even though I'm not a young adult anymore, I read it and figured, was able to quickly pick up things that I could turn into a camp using the power, the skills that our naturalists tend to have.
The Reserve has done book-based camps in the past, such as My Side the Mountain, Hatchet, and the Island of Blue Dolphins. The camp is broken down to 2 parts. The first part encompassed the first 3 days and was filled with training in multiple areas.
And so what we do is we just do a training for the first 3 days where we do all sorts of outdoor skills like trap making or shelter building or that sort of thing, camouflage and GPS using, so all these things that could help them potentially in the arena that we create for them.
The last 2 days were spent playing the Hunger Games. Obviously, these children were not fighting to the death, but were eliminated throughout the day. It was primarily a huge game of capture the flag. There were 3 ways to eliminate a player. The first is to capture another team's flag. The teams would return to the Hartman Reserve building where a name would be drawn out the hat of the losing team. That person would then be eliminated. The second way was to challenge another team if you spotted each other. Again, both teams would return to the Hartman Reserve building where a name would be drawn out of a hat from both teams. Those 2 kids would face a random challenge, like making a fire, archery, or geocaching. The loser was eliminated. Final way to eliminate a player was to ambush a team. By hiding in the woods and having another team walk by without seeing you, a team could yell ambush. The ambushed team would return to the Hartman Reserve and pull a name out of the hat to see who would be eliminated. How were the teams chosen? Well, that was all based on a point system. Throughout the first 3 days, kids were given points for completing challenges and doing well.
The points are for when you pick your leaders when you play the Hunger Games. So you get basically, if you get the most points, you get the first pick on who you get to go with.
The kids really enjoyed this camp, and the Hartman Reserve especially likes that it appeals to a hard-to-reach demographic for them.
I usually stay inside because I'm a dancer and stuff, but I like getting closer to nature.
The Hartman Reserve Nature Center has a summer full of activities for adults, children, and families all around the Cedar Valley. To view some of their weekly and special events, go to hartmanreserve.org.